Eh? Greetings, you crypt creepers. I hope you're doing well. My name is Graham, and this is the Crack-A-Pack here on LRRMTG, brought to you by Card Kingdom. Check out cardkingdom.com/LRR for all your magical needs, such as cards from Avacyn Restoredl. Oh yes, there's going to be a card in here that you want. I know there will be. I'm a staunch AVR defender, as we know. This pack was given to us by Alex Brookins at PAX Unplugged. And Alex, I thank you for that. Let's crack in. Ta-da! First up. Ein Butcherghoul. It's the Butcherghoul. It's 1 and a black for a 1/1 zombie with Undying. Now, Undying was a new mechanic, I think, in this set. Sort of the flip of Persist, which is, I'll just read you the reminder text. When this creature dies, if it had no +1/+1 counters on it, return it to the battlefield under its owner's control with a +1/+1 counter on it. So it's a 1/1 for 2, but when it dies, it comes back as a 2/2. So you can use it to like sacrifice to stuff. You can see pretty easily how Undying is cool. I think it's neat. And Butcherghoul honestly put in work as being just a low-cost Undying creature that got fed into sacrifice outlets fairly often. Next, Cathedral Sanctifier. 1/1 for a single white mana that reads, when Cathedral Sanctifier enters the battlefield, you gain 3 life. That's less good of a creature. Just sort of like a 1/1 for 1 with a healing salve stapled to it. I guess maybe you also need something to sacrifice in white decks as well. Like, I gain 3 and then throw it in the wood chipper. I don't know. Flowering Lumberknot, 3 and a green for a 5/5 tree folk. So it's a 5/5 for 4 in green. So what's the downside? It's pretty big, actually. It can't attack or block unless it is paired with a creature with Soul Bond. This is why this doesn't get in my Treefolk Commander deck. Because, so Soul Bond, obviously a mechanic from the set. Hopefully we'll see it later, but basically the creature with Soul Bond came into play, and then you would pair it with another creature, and then both the creatures would get some sort of boost. Or, if the creature with Soul Bond was already in play and its partner had died and another creature entered, then you could pair it. But so the Flowering Lumberknot doesn't do anything by itself. It's a 5/5 that can't attack or block unless you also have this other creature. So in the right scenario, a 5/5 in this format was like pretty big, but the right scenario was hard to accomplish. Not hard, but it was like, it was very situational. Next, we have Ghoul Flesh. It's a single black mana for a creature enchantment that says the enchanted creature gets -1/-1 and is a black zombie in addition to its other colors and types. The body dies in stages. First the skin, then the muscle. The brain is last, much to the victim's dismay. Oh, that sucks. No, it's like first the skin, then it's like, oh, then we're skipping to the end at that point. But yikes. I guess the nice thing about the -1/-1s is you can just kill a small creature, I guess. If for some reason their Cathedral Sanctifier is getting out of hand, you can kill it. Probably like a flyer or something you would be better to do with that, but anyway. Or this one, Cruin Striker. 1 and a red for a 2/1 human warrior. Whenever another creature enters the battlefield under your control, Cruin Striker gets +1/+0 and gains trample until end of turn. So yeah, like a piker, 2/1 for 1 and a red, great. And then you play a creature and then it's a 3/1 with trample. That's a good attack. And if they trade for it, well, you traded something for a 2/1. All right, pretty good. Leap of Faith. 2 and a white for an instant. Target creature gains flying until end of turn. Prevent all damage that would be dealt to that creature this turn. Yeah. Sure. Why not? I'm surprised that a combat trick called Leap of Faith doesn't have, like, lifelink or something, or just fully just protection. I know that it prevents all damage, but I would expect it there would want to connect, like, the faith aspect to some sort of divine protection. But again, it does prevent all the damage, so that sort of works. Somberwald Vigilante is a single red mana for a 1/1 human warrior. Whenever a Somberwald Vigilante becomes blocked by a creature, it deals 1 damage to that creature. Ah, yes, this ability. I don't know if we ever came up with a name for this ability, but it's shockingly annoying because none of these other creatures, ignoring the Lumberknot, the Cruin Striker, the Butcher Ghoul, they can't attack into this. Or they can't block this, pardon me, because they just die before any damage happens. So the Vigilante is just like, haha, and the other thing just dies. Even a 2/2, it trades for something with 2 toughness, because it does 1 damage and then actual combat damage. And like, this is not the best example of it. I think Ashmouth Hound is the one that I think of most, but it's an irritating creature to deal with in combat. Essence Harvest, 2 and a black for a sorcery. Target player loses X life and you gain X life, where X is the greatest power among creatures you control. So finally, this is a good reason to have the Flowering Lumberknot just hanging around your side of the battlefield, not doing anything. Because so far, all the other creatures we've encountered have been weeny teeny. Speaking of small creatures, Driver of the Dead, 3 and a black for a 3/2 vampire. When Driver of the Dead dies, return target creature card with mana value, convert a mana cost at the time, 2 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield. So it's a 3/2 for 4, but then when it dies, it gets to the graveyard and goes, you, get back up there. And that goes right into play. So again, we have a variety of options for tiny creatures to reanimate. But not the Galvanic Alchemist, 2 and a blue for a 1/4 human wizard with Soul Bond. Here we go. You may pair this creature with another unpaired creature when either enters the battlefield. They remain paired for as long as you control both of them. It continues, as long as Galvanic Alchemist is paired with another creature, each of those creatures has, for 2 and a blue, untap this creature. So you got your Lumberknot in play, then you play this, and you pair them, then they both gain that ability, and then the Lumberknot can attack, and then you can pay to untap it. Or this is in play, and you don't have anything paired to it, and then you play the Lumberknot, and then you can choose to pair it then. It wasn't, like, intuitive. It sounded more confusing when explained, like I just did, than it was when you played with it. When you played with it, you were like, oh, I get it. But it sounds confusing when Graham tries to do words. Ooh. It's a miracle. Thunderous Wrath, 4 red for an instant. It deals 5 damage to target creature or player. 6 mana to deal 5 damage. So it's a bit of a pricey lava axe. It's instant speed though, but it's only 1 red mana if it's a miracle. For those who didn't get to play with miracles, you may cast this card for its miracle cost when you draw it if it's the first card you drew this turn. So this necessitated people being very careful about their hand of cards over here, draw a card and look at it, and then going, and then put it into your hand. So that you didn't go like, put it into my hand. Oh, wait, that was a miracle. And it's like, no, you've already, it's in your hand and you had to make it clear. So you had people going like, huh? Okay, no. And you're like, well, they've got some sort of miracle in their deck. This obviously was not the most backbreaking. There's some really messed up miracles, but, you know, hey, 1 mana for 5 damage, even if they don't have any creatures you want to kill, just like, well, I'll pay a red, take 5 to the dome. Pretty good stuff. It does have mass appeal, the miracle mechanic. I think it has mass appeal. Anyway, mass appeal. 2 and a blue for a sorcery. Draw a card for each human you control. Because of course, Innistrad, not that humans didn't exist in Magic before, obviously they always have, but like not that the subtype didn't exist, but the Innistrad block was the first time where humans like mattered as a type, and this continued that. So yeah, it's like, look at all these humans I have. Let me draw a card for each one of them. I don't know if this was ever that great, but this particular card, but this one was Tandem Lookout. It's still good, actually, Tandem Lookout. I think this might, depending on what the rare is, this might end up being the most valuable card in this pack. 2 and a blue for a 2/1 human scout with Soul Bond. As long as Tandem Lookout is paired with another creature, each of those creatures has, whenever this creature deals combat damage to an opponent, draw a card. So it's a 2/1 for 3, which is not great, but if it's paired, then they both have the Ophidian ability. So good stuff. Tandem Lookout was very good. We have a zombie token and an island, and our rare Ooh, interesting. It's another miracle. Tandem Lookout might still be the most valuable card here, but we'll find out. We'll find out. Revenge of the Hunted. 4 green. Until end of turn, target creature gets +6/+6 and trample, and all creatures able to block it do so. So you get to sort of like wipe out your opponent's board potentially, or I mean, it's sort of like the lure ability, right? Where it's like, all right, all your creatures have to block this one. So I attack with everything. All my other creatures get through because all your blockers have to block this creature. The miracle cost, again, is only 1 green mana. So if this is the first card you draw, then big surprise. It's good stuff. I wonder what I would be first picking here. I don't think it's Revenge of the Hunted, as powerful as that card could potentially be. It might be Thunderous Wrath, but it's probably supposed to be Tandem Lookout, and just hope that I can make that sort of stuff happen. We'll go with one of those, I think. The whole pack's clocking in on Card Kingdom at about 726, which is, you know, about as low as packs from this era can go. But yes, indeed, Tandem Lookout. It's like $2 and something. So I was right. People like the Tandem Lookout. Yeah, I guess probably that. Or the Thunderous Wrath. I think Thunderous Wrath is just fine. Hey, Alex, thank you so much for giving us this pack at PAX Unplugged. I really appreciate it. And I really appreciate all of you watching. A reminder, this show is brought to you by Card Kingdom. Check out cardkingdom.com/LRR to get yourself some of these cards. And of course, everything we do here is brought to you by you and your support of our Patreon or becoming a member on this YouTube channel. Until next time, I've been Graham, joined by James. Matt or Jordan edit these. Heather gets them online. Thanks for watching.